Hi, everybody. So this is the lecture for Excel Module 2. So let's get to it. So what do we got here? This is all about formatting a worksheet. And I need more desk space. So the first thing is that when the book is asking you to highlight a range of cells, okay? So when they're asking you to highlight a range of cells, they will start with the first cell address, and then they will go on to the last one. And if they want you to do, say, A1 to D13, then that means, you click and drag to D13. So that would be that range of cells. Now, in this case, they want me to change G3 to G15. So I need to go here, G, and then get down to 3. G3 to G15. So that's this area right here. And now, what is it that they want me to do with it? They want me to change this so that the numbers look different. So this is number formatting. And basically right here on the home ribbon, we have a numbers group. Excuse me, my coffee. And we're going to pick the comma style. And basically what that does is it adds 2 decimal places and it puts a comma in the thousands. Now, I'm not sure why we picked that one. Oh no, that's not the one I want to use. I want to use this one, which is called the accounting number format. Okay, so that's actually the one I want to use. And by the way, accounting number is a little bit strange. In the project that you have to do, you have to use a currency type, okay? And the way to do that is you click the little down arrow here next to the accounting number, and you say more accounting formats, and then you pick the currency one and press OK. Now, in this case, I'm just going to click here, and basically what that does is it does the same thing that the comma formatting did, except it added a $sign. Okay, so it forces 2 decimal places, and you can change those by clicking in the number group, increase or decrease decimal places. And it will put a comma in the thousands place, but I don't have any thousands here. So what they want me to do next is they want me to take the H3 to H15 group and leave the dollars off. So I'm just going to use the comma style. And now you can see that there are commas here. Okay. Now I'm going to do a percent style. So I need to go to M1, which is here. Now the revenue rate shown here is in the decimal format. So 0.2, and we know that that's 20%. So I just want to change the way it displays on my worksheet. So I'm going to use the percent style here and click on it. You can see that it changes the format. And by the way, you can have percentage style with or without decimal places. Oh, and I'm supposed to increase the decimal place by 1. Oh, increase. Oh, and then decrease. Okay, so they just want me to show you that you can decrease or increase or decrease the decimal places for percentages. Okay, so next I'm going to do C3 through C15. So C3 through C15. Now this is a date column, and I'm going to change the way the date is displayed. So I noticed that all of these are 2021. So I'm going to click on the date type. And I'm going to go to the number group here and click this little increase button. And you can see that the category here is date, and I have different styles that I can pick from. So I'm going to pick this one and press OK. And notice how it changed the way the date is formatted. By the way, if you look at the formatting bar, the formula bar, sorry, it still shows you the real contents of the cell. So it hasn't changed the way Excel is keeping track of the date. It's just changed the way it's displaying. Okay, so now I'm supposed to do I3 through J15. So I3 through J15 is this area, and I'm supposed to change that to currency. And press OK. And notice how it also adds a $sign. And then I'm supposed to have 2 decimal places, and I do. Am I supposed to have 2 decimal places? I need my glasses. Where are my reading glasses? I usually have reading glasses everywhere, but I seem not to have them here. So let me. Okay, I'm back and I got my reading glasses. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to change the amount of decimal places that are displayed. And you can see that a big chunk of my worksheet has numbers in it that are decimal places that are 0.00. So it says G3 to I15. So that's this, and I click and I hold, and I just drag it down here. And then I'm going to come up here to where it says decrease decimal place, and I'm going to click that twice. And so that gets rid of the decimal places here. And now I'm good. So now I'm just going to work with some text here. And so we're going to go to the home ribbon. Oh, I am at the home ribbon. Okay, there we go. So what am I supposed to work with here? I'm going to click on cell A1, and I'm going to change this to Calibri. Now, you can type in C. Oh, there it is, Calibri. So I've changed that. Then I'm going to change the font size to 20. And I'm going to change, what am I going to change? I'm going to change the cell styles to heading 1. So I'm going to go over here to my styles group, and I'm going to click that little down arrow and pick heading 1. Now, what it's done is it's changed the color of the font, and I think it's made it bold. Yes, it is bold. Okay, so I'm good here. Now I'm going to do A2 to J2. So A2, click and drag to J2. And here I'm going to apply a style called heading 2. So I'm just going to click this little down arrow here, and I'm going to pick heading 2. Notice the other thing that it did was it put a little blue line underneath here, and it changed the color to some kind of blue, although it's not really showing up here in my, well, I guess it would show up here. It's this. See how there's a little orange outline around it? So it's changed it to blue-gray text too. Okay, so there, we're good here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use for A2, oh, I did that. Now L1. So for L1, which is this one, and L2, So again, I can click and drag this and just select both of them. And I'm going to click heading 4. So that's changed that, and it didn't add an underline there. Okay. So now we're going to change the font styles and the alignment. Now, when we talk about alignment, we mean left aligned, right aligned, and centered. And in Excel, we're always talking about within a cell, or if we merge cells, which I think we're going to do, within the range of cells that we merged into one. So for A3 through A15, so that's this first set of numbers, I'm going to make these bold. And again, I can just use the regular buttons, italicized and, oh, not italicized, and centered. So they will be centered within the cell, within the column width, the cell width. Okay, so which they are now. Now I want to do is I'm going to use the format painter, and that will allow me to add or copy the formatting from this range of cells to other cells. So I'm just going to click on the format painter, and you can see that I get what we call a marquee. It's that moving dashed border. And then I'm going to do B3 to B15. So I'm going to click and drag down. And so now I've applied the same, it's bold and centered. So I've applied those two things by using the format painter to that second column of numbers. Now we have something that's a little bit strange. In Word, when we click center, we're centering things between the left and the right margins. In Excel, there's no way to do that because remember, we're working with cells. So it's going to be centered within a cell, left aligned or right aligned within the cell. But we can merge cells together. So I'm going to highlight A1 through J1. And then I'm going to click in the alignment group, this merge and center button. And basically what that's going to do is it's going to make all of my highlighted cells one cell, so it'll all become A1, and it's going to center the title there in that range. And you can see that it happened. And so now this is all cell A1. There is no G1 anymore, or H1 or B1. It's all A1. Look at the name box and you can see that. Okay, so having said that, if you don't like it, you can click this and turn it off. You can just merge the cells without centering. I don't know what merge across does. I guess I have to click off of this and then click merge across. Okay, so that just merged it without centering too. So if I click off of this and I do merge cells, it does the same thing. And if I do unmerge cells, yeah, okay. So I'm just going to do merge and center. What's this one? Merge selected cells into one large cell. Oh, for this, well, merge selected cells into one cell. Okay, well, I guess they do kind of the same thing. Okay, so anyway, so that's merge and center. Now, this is important. Column width. There's a couple of ways to adjust the width of columns. One is to get in between the column letters. So if I get between C and D, if I get close, you can see that the cursor changes to a dark line with two arrows pointing left and right. And if I hold this, look, it says the width is 9.71 or 73 pixels. So I can adjust this, and here it says adjust it to approximately 94 pixels. So that means I got to make it wider. So I don't like approximately. There we are, 94 pixels. So I've changed it. There's another way to do this. Now, if you look in these cells and pay attention, you'll see that what's actually the contents of this cell is Waltham, comma, MA. I look at my formula bar, but the MA isn't showing. Okay, Wesley, MA. There should be a Massachusetts MA for each one of these. And for some of them, it's not showing because the column isn't wide enough. So there's what we call the auto fit. Auto fit will fit or resize the column to fit the widest entry in that column. And the way we do that is we get in between. So in this case, I want to auto fit column D. So I'm going to get to the right border of column D, and I'm going to double click. Notice it made it wide enough to fit the longest entry, which I think might be Wesley or this one, Needham. So it fit the widest entry. The other way to do this is you can do it on multiple columns simultaneously. So I'm going to do E, F, G, H, and L. So I'm just going to click up here, and I'm going to click, hold it, and drag till I get to the L. And then in between any of these, I can double click, and it resizes all of them to fit the widest entry for each. Let me undo that because I didn't quite follow what the book said. So they want me to do E, F, G, H, E, F, G, H, and L. Now I let go, and now I'm holding down the control key. And now I clicked on L. So the control key allows you to highlight areas that aren't next to each other. We talked about that in the first video. So now I'm going to double click in between here. And now it's auto-sized just the rows, the columns that I have highlighted. So now I'm supposed to do I and J. I wasn't supposed to do K. And these two, I'm going to click column width in the cells group. Where's column width? It's not here. Format, column width. There we are. And here I can type in a column width. So they want me to make it 14. So I'm going to type in 14 and press OK. Now both of these columns are size 14. Okay, so there's that. Note that you can insert or delete columns and rows when you're working on a worksheet, even if you've already created and entered data. And your formulas and functions will adjust. So here I'm supposed to do F2. So I'm supposed to pick F2, which is this, and I'm going to right click and click insert. And so what do they want me to do? Well, it's asking me what it is that I want to do. Shift cells to the right, shift cells down, entire row, entire column. So I'm going to do entire row and click OK. And so what happened? It inserted a row above where I was. Now, there's an insert options button, which looks like the format painter, which I can click at. And so I can format it the same way as above it, which is the default setting, the same as below it, or I can clear the format. So I'm just going to leave it here. And actually it says to close it without making any choice. So I just clicked on the little arrow again. And then in row 9, I'm going to click this heading, the actual number 9. And notice it selects the whole row. And by the way, it selects all the way over. Well, I guess it's that way. All the way over. And I'm going to delete this. And by the way, we can do it up here, insert. You can insert rows or cells. Here, I can delete rows or cells, so you can do it here. You can also right click. So if I right click here on the number 9, it says delete, insert. I think I can just use the delete button. No, the delete button didn't work. It just cleared the contents of the cells. So I can press undo. And I think I'm supposed to delete that. So I'm going to go ahead and click delete and delete sheet rows. This is the worksheet, and I'm going to delete that row. And it went away. And by the way, my formulas and functions adjusted. Then I'm supposed to get rid of column K. So if I press the delete button, no, it doesn't actually do it. So I can right click on here and press delete. And what happened is the columns shifted over. So I still have a column K, but now there just isn't an empty column here. Let me undo. See, there's an empty column K, and L is going to become K and M is going to become L. So there we go. And I'm good. Now, I'm going to apply some fill colors. So I'm going to click A4 through A15. A4 through A15. And I'm going to click the fill color arrow, which gives me a choice of colors. And I'm going to pick blue-gray text 2, lighter 80, which is this first option here. Then I'm going to add borders. Okay, so let's talk about borders. These are grid lines. So we see the gray lines here. They're called grid lines. They do not print. So if I go to print preview, which I have on my quick access toolbar up here, you can see that none of the grid lines print. So let me go back. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add some borders. And in this instance, I'm just going to add a border on the right-hand side. So on one side. So I'm going to go to my borders button, which is in the font group. And I'm going to click the little down arrow. And I'm going to say right border. And then I'm going to click off of it. So remember our 3 steps. We select what it is that we want to format or work with. We apply whatever formatting we want. And then the 3rd step is to click off of it. So see, I have this black line right here. And if I go to my print preview, you'll see it even better. See, there's a black line. Okay, so let me close that. Now I'm going to change the font color. I better highlight this area again. And I'm supposed to do blue-gray text 2 color. So blue, gray, text 2. And there you go, click. Now, the book is in love with doing headers and footers. And in Excel, headers and footers work similarly, but differently from in Word. So let's go to the insert ribbon. Oh, wait a second. No, that's not where it is. Where is it? It's in the insert. Or is it? No, it's in. It is insert. It says it's an insert. It is not. Where is it? It says click the insert tab, click the text button. Oh. This is so big on the new one. Where's the text button? I don't see the text button. Oh, there it is, right here, text. So it's over here in a group by itself, and there's a text button. I'm going to click on it, and now it says header and footer. So I can insert, I don't know why I didn't see it. So I'm going to click on the header and footer, and notice how it gives me a header and footer tools design ribbon. And the difference is that I have 3 areas here. So that's like the header is 3 big cells. And if I scroll down, well, if I go to the footer, it'll be the same. So what they want me to do is they want me to click the sheet name button here. And where do they want me to put the sheet name? I don't know. Click the insert tab, click the text button, yes. I think they want me to do it in the middle one. So I'm going to undo this. Oh, wait a second, I can't undo it. Oops, I just backspace it out of here. And I'm going to click the middle one. And I can do sheet name there. Now the sheet name is actually a function, so it's going to read the name of the sheet. So what's my worksheet name? Well, it's right now it's sheet 1. So, oops, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. So if I look down here in the bottom left corner, it says sheet 1. So that's going to display at the top. So let's see. Let me, let me go to the footer first. So I clicked go to footer, and now it takes me to the bottom of that page, and it's showing me the footer and the 3 sections of the footer. And I'm going to enter my name in the center footer section. And by the way, you can format this just like you can any other text. Now I'm going to go back to my header, and then I'm going to click on any cell here, and that takes me out of the header and footer view. As you can see that I don't have it anymore. And I'm going to look at my print preview, and you can see that it says sheet 1 across the top, and it says Peter Watson down here at the bottom, because those are the things that I added. So I'm going to go ahead and get back out of my print preview. And I'm going to apply conditional formatting to this now. Now, it did change my view. So if you look down here in the bottom right corner, I am now in page layout view. It's right next to the zoom slider down here in the bottom right. And so what I want to do is I want to get back to my normal view. So I'm just going to click on my normal view. And there we go. So now I'm kind of back to where I was when I started. And here I'm going to apply conditional formatting. And conditional formatting is a little bit difficult to explain. So it's easier to just show you and then explain it. Well, I'll explain it anyway. Conditional formatting is formatting that is applied when a certain condition or certain conditions are met. So I could say, hey, if it's less than or equal to 0, make it red, make the text color red. So the text color will only be red if the condition that the contents of the cell is less than or equal to 0. So let's see what we're supposed to do. I4 through I15. I4 through I15. Boom. So I'm going to apply conditional formatting, and here in the styles group on the home ribbon is the conditional formatting. And I'm going to do highlight cell rules and greater than, and click on it. Now, it's already given me a default condition and default formatting. It did 14,860. So I'm going to change that by typing 500. And then I'm going to click light red fill without changing the font color. Then I'm going to pick OK. And in cell G4, I'm supposed to type 499. Oh, I did it in the wrong spot. Let me undo that. It's supposed to be here. G4 through G15. These are the ones that are supposed to be conditionally formatted. So I'll click on conditional formatting, highlight cells, greater than, and I said 500, so I'll do 500. And then it's supposed to just be light red fill. So that leaves the font color alone. And I'll press OK. And now I'll click off of this. And so this is what it looks like. Anything that is greater than 500 has a cell fill of light red. And what they want me to do is they want me to show you that the conditional formatting changes as the condition changes. So here, it's supposed to be greater than 500. So in here it says 675. So if I do 499 and press enter, it changes, right? Because it's no longer greater than 500. Okay, so let's talk about renaming the worksheets and moving them. And we can actually format the background colors of the sheet names. So where is that? It's down here in the bottom left corner. So I'm going to, click here and then double click it. So I selected it, clicked it once, and then I double clicked it. By the way, if you can't get the double click down, you can right click it. So use the right mouse button and you can go to the rename section. So I'm going to rename this Commission with a capital C. Commissions. And see, it changed the name from sheet 2 to sheet 3. Now I want to move this, and the way to move it is you just click and drag. And I don't know if you can see this, but there's a little arrow, down arrow that pops up. And I want to put it after sheet 3. So I just clicked and dragged it. Now I'm going to look at sheet 3, and there actually isn't anything on this worksheet, so I'm going to delete it. So I'm going to right click and click delete. So it got rid of that sheet. Now I have 2 sheets, sheet 1 and commissions. And let me see something, because I'm pretty sure that the first one is supposed to say Boston Tech. So I'm going to rename sheet 1 to Boston Tech. Right click, click on rename, type in Boston space Tech. I also want to show you that you can change the tab color just by right clicking on the tab and then picking a color. And I could do the same thing with, say that I want this to be green. Oh, I'll do a darker green. There we go. Oops, I don't like Boston. Oh, yeah. So you can see that I changed the color. It's very easy to do. Just right click on it to bring up that. There we go. So that's renaming and moving a worksheet. The book also loves the find and replace or find and select. So I'm going to go to find and select, and I'm going to do a replace. So basically this is a find and replace dialog. So what is it that I want to find? I want to find a particular word or a particular something or other. And so in this case, it's the word contract. And I'm going to replace that with temp. And so I'm going to click find next. And so here it says contract. And I'm going to click on replace all. So watch, they should all change. They made 6 replacements. And see, now it says temp in every one of those. So that's much easier than retyping them individually. Just saves you some time. Now, when we print, by the way, this is going to print on 2 separate pages. And you can see this between the J and K columns, there's a dashed line. That's the edge of the page. And if I scroll down, at some point, we'll see between 37 and 38, there's also a dashed line. That's the bottom of the page. If I go to my page layout view, bottom right corner, you can now see that this is going to print on a separate page and how it's going to look. So I'm going to go back to my normal view. And so what I really want to do is when I print this, I want to scale it. So I'm going to go to File and Print. And now it's asking me a couple of things. What is it that I want to print? I have 2 worksheets. So it defaults to only printing the active worksheet, which is the one that's currently up on your screen. I can print the entire workbook. So now I should have 2 pages here. And if I scroll down on the right-hand side, you can see that that's the second page, the third page, because the second page is just this. And look, it changed from sheet 1 to Boston Tech. So what I want to do is I want to make sure that this prints on 1 page. So I'm going to scale this. So I'm going to do custom scaling here. And what is it that they want me to do? To fit on 1 page. Fit what? Fit sheet on 1 page. So this will shrink it. And look, it did shrink it. It kind of narrowed it. So I'm going to go back here. And I think I'm good. So that is module 2. I'm trying to think, is there anything in module 2 in the actual assignment that I should go over? So let me come down here and take a look. I'll pause this for a second and see. So there is one thing that the assignment does that the chapter didn't cover, and that is using what we call data bars. Now, data bars are a kind of conditional formatting, and we can use data bars to represent visually the number that is shown. So just like with any kind of formatting, the first thing that I have to do is select the cells that I want to apply my conditional formatting to. So I'm going to use, I'm trying to decide, I'm going to use this net revenue, these numbers here. And again, I'm going to apply it to all of them. Now, this is different than the highlighting cell rules. So I'm going to use data bars here, and I'm going to use the gradient fill one, the light blue ones. So what does that do? What is it doing? Basically, what it's doing is well, this is the biggest number. So this bar goes all the way to the right border of the column. The rest of these are shown as a percentage of 18,975. So basically, this makes it easier. Now, these numbers aren't great for data bars, but this makes it easier to visualize what if the numbers are big or small in comparison. So I can very quickly see that this is the smallest number. This is a very big number. This is a big number. This is a big number. The smallest numbers, well, I guess these two are fairly small. My numbers are too close in range, so it's a little bit difficult. I can apply this here. So let's do some here. Data bars, and we'll just use the first set here. Again, it's kind of close. It's difficult to kind of, well, I guess 55,000 is the smallest one. That jumped out right away. So anyway, that's how you do data bars, also conditional formatting. Okay, so that's it for Excel Module 2. Good luck. Again, if you have any questions, just let me know. So I will stop recording.